The teacher looked at him. Her face was not quite as stunned as Mr. Johnson had been, but it was absolutely a picture of bafflement. Omri, she said, how in the name of all this holy did you do this? I like drawing small, said Omri quite truthfully. Small? This isn't small, this is tiny. This is infinitesimal. This is microscopic. Her voice was rising higher with every word. Several of the other children had now stood up and crowded around the paper, peering at it in absolute stupefaction. Small gasps and exclamations of wonder were rising on all sides. Omri held in a laugh that threatened to explode. The teacher's eyes were now narrow with astonishment and doubt. Show me, she said, the pencil you used. This took Omri aback, but only for a second. I left it over there. I'll just go and get it, he said sweetly. He walked back to his table, his hand in his pocket. His back turned, he bent over, apparently searching the top of the table. Then he turned around, smiling, holding something cupped in his hand. Then he walked back. Here it is, he said, and held out his hand. Everyone bent forward. The art teacher took a hold of his hand and pulled it toward her. Are you putting me on, Omri? There's nothing there. Yes, there is. She peered close until she could feel her warm breath of his hand. Don't breathe hard, said Omri, his laugh now trembling his very lips. You'll blow it away. Maybe you'd see it better with a magnifying glass, he added kindly. Slowly, she raised the glass into position. She looked through it. Can I see? Is it there? Can I look? Clamored the other children, all except Patrick, sitting by himself, not paying attention to the crowd around Omri. The art teacher lowered the glass. Her eyes were dazed. I don't believe it. It's there. How did you pick it up? Well, that's a bit of a secret method I have. Yeah, she said. Yes, it must be. You wouldn't feel like telling us? No, Omri said in a trembling voice. His laugh was on the verge. He was going to burst out. May I be excused? Yes, she said, dazed voice. Go on. He took the drawing back and tottered to the door. He managed to get outside before the laugh actually blew out. It was so loud and so overpowering, he was obliged to go right out into the playground. There he sank into a bench and laughed till he felt quite weak. Her face. He never enjoyed anything so much in his whole life. It had been worth it. The bell rang and school was over. Omri brought out the men and held them up. Guys, he said, I enjoyed that. Thank you. Now we're going to the shop. Omri ran all the way to Yap's and got there before the other children had even got out of school. 10 minutes, the place would be full of kids buying potato chips and sweet toys and comics. Just now he had it to himself, and he had to make the most of the few minutes he had. He was directly to the corner of the boxes of plastic figures, stood his back to the main counter. He was holding Little Bear and Boone in his hand, and he put them down among the figures of the Cowboys and Indians box. He hadn't reckoned on Boone's sensitive nature, however. Holy catfish! Look at all them dead bodies, he squeaked, hiding his eyes. And there must have been a big massacre. Not dead, said Little Bear scornfully. Plastic. He kicked a plastic cowboy aside. Too many, he said to Omri. You find women, I choose. You'll have to be quick, said Omri in a low voice. Started rummaging through the box, picked out the Indian women. There were very few. The 5 he found, one was clearly old. 2 had babies tied to their backs in parcels like boots. You know, one with a baby, I suppose. Little Bear gave him a look. No, I thought not, said Omri hostily. Well, what about these? He stood 2 other figures on the edge of the table. Little Bear jumped down and faced them. He looked carefully at the first one and then at the other. They both looked the same, Omri, except one had a yellow dress and another had a blue. Each had a black pigtail, the headband with a single feather, and moccasins on her feet. Little Bear looked up. His face showed furious disappointment. No good, he said. But there aren't any others. Many, many plastic. You look good, find other. Omri rubbed frantically right through the bottom of the box. Kids were beginning to come in the shop. He almost despaired when he saw her. She lay face down at the very bottom of the box, half hidden by 2 cowboys on horses. He pulled her out. It was the same as the other, apparently, except for she wore a red dress. They obviously came out of the same mold, because they were all in the same position, as if walking. The others are ugly, so this one would be. Without much hope, he set it before Little Bear. He stood staring at her. The shop was getting busy now. Any moment, somebody would come up behind him, wanting to buy a plastic figure. Well, said Omri impatiently. Another 5 seconds, Little Bear stared. Then, without speaking a word, he nodded his head. Omri didn't wait for him to change his mind. He scooped him up and Boone back in his pocket and picked the proof figure and made for the counter. Just this one, please, he said. Mr. Yap was looking at him. A very odd look. Sure you only want the one, he asked. Yes. Mr. Yap took the plastic figure, dropped it into the bag, and gave it back to Omri. 10 pence. Omri paid and left the shop. Suddenly he felt his hand on the shoulder. He spun around. It was Mr. Yap. The look on his face was not odd at all, but red and angry. Now you can hand over the two you stole. Omri stood aghast. I didn't steal any. Don't add lie to your faults, my lad. I watched you put them in your pocket. The cowboy and an Indian. Omri's mouth hung open. Thought he was going to be sick. I didn't, he tried to say, but no words came out. Turn out your pockets. But they're mine, Omri managed to gasp. A likely story, and I suppose you brought them to help you choose the new one? Yes. Said Mr. Yuck heavily. Come on, stop playing around. I've lost hundreds of pounds worth of stuff a year to you thieving kids. When I do catch one of you red-handed, it's not likely to let it pass. I know your sort. If we let you off, you'll be boasting your pals at school how easy it was to get away with it. Most likely you'll back tomorrow for another pocketful. Omri was now fighting back tears. Quite a crowd had collected, much like the crowd in the art room. Some of the same people, even but the feelings were no longer pleasant. He wished he could die or disappear. No trying to get around me by crying, shouted Mr. Yap. Give them back right now, or I'll call the police. All at once, Patrick was beside him. They're his, he said. I know this because he showed them to me at school. A cowboy with a white hat and an Indian with a chief's headdress. He told me he was coming to buy a new one. Omri wouldn't steal. Mr. Yap let go of Omri and looked at Patrick. He knew Patrick quite well because it happened that Patrick's brother had once been his paper boy. Will you vouch for him then? Of course I will, said Patrick staunchly. I'm telling you, I saw them both this afternoon. So the shopkeeper wasn't absolutely convinced. Let's see if they fit your description, he said. Omri, who had been staring at Patrick with some miraculous deliverer, felt his stomach drop to his shoes once more. But then he had an idea. He reached both hands into his pocket. Then he held out one hand slowly, still closed. Everyone looked at it. It was actually empty. And the other one he lifted to his mouth as if to stifle a cough. He whispered, lie still. Don't move. Plastic. Then he put both hands before him and opened. The men played along beautifully. There they lay, side by side, stiff and stark, as lifeless as plastic figures could possibly be. In any case, Omri was taking no chances. He gave Mr. Yap just long enough to see they were dressed in Patrick had said before closing his fingers again. Mr. Yap grunted. Those aren't for my shop anyhow, he said. All my Indian chiefs are sitting down, and that sort of cowboy is always on a horse. Well, I'm sorry, lad. You'll have to excuse me, but I must admit you did look suspicious. Omri managed a sickly smile. The crowd was melting away. Mr. Yap shuffled back into the shop, and Omri and Patrick were left alone on the pavement. Thanks, said Omri. Came out as croaky as a frog. It's okay. I have a tofu. They had once each have a tofu. They had one each and walked along side by side. After a while, they gave each other a quick grin. Let's give them some. They stopped, took the men out, and gave them each some bits of chocolate. That's a reward, said Patrick, for playing dead. Little Bear then naturally demanded to know what it had been all about, and the boys explained as well as they could. Little Bear was quite intrigued. Man think Omri steal, Little Bear? Yes. And Boone? Omri nodded. Omri fool to steal Boone, roared Little Bear, laughing. Boone, stuffing himself with chocolate, gave him a dirty look. Where woman? Said Little Bear, askingly. I got her. When make real? Tonight. Patrick gave him a look of pure longing, but didn't say anything, and then he walked along again. They were nearly to Omri's house. Omri was thinking. After a while, he said, Patrick, what about you staying the night? Patrick's face lit up like a bulb. Could I and see? Yes. Wow, thanks. They ran the rest of the way home.